Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo for part 2 of this week's DRF breeding report, and we'll shift over to the Keeneland September Yearling Auction. Just a marathon sale beginning Monday, September the 11th, running all the way through September the 23rd. And Nicole, this auction's been reconfigured several times over the past few years, and yet another change for Book 1 this year.
Yeah, Keeneland kind of constantly tweaking this long-running sale based on, feedback from buyers, feedback from consigners. And this year what they've done, in addition to introducing a lucrative bonus system for its sale graduates, is they've tweaked the format of the elite Book 1 portion of the sale up front. This year, instead of running 3 sessions as it has each of the last 2 years, Book 1 is a highly selective single-session format on Monday, September 11th, 167 yearlings selected for that elite book. Book 2 will take place over 3 sessions. Then following a dark day, the sale continues with Book 3 onward, running through September 23rd. Book 1 looks exceptionally strong this year, Dan. Honestly, we could run this show an hour and probably not have discussed all the horses in depth. But with Book 1 being so condensed, I think the overall effect is to push other quality horses who may have been Book 1 horses last year into Book 2, who may have been Book 2 horses last year into Book 3. And with that kind of quality trickling down through the catalog, I think we'll have good competitive bidding in the middle and lower markets throughout the sale as a result. I'm really looking forward to this year's edition.
I agree. I think Keeneland has hit upon the right formula this time to have that select Book 1 sale chock full of the really talented horses. But then you're going to get, as you say, that trickle-down effect down to Book 2 and Book 3, quality all over the sale and extending the quality throughout September the 23rd. Let's talk a little bit about that bonus system you referenced before. I think this is another fantastic idea.
Yeah, it really is, particularly the fact that they're including other countries, making it a global bonus system. When you look at Keeneland graduates who run all over the world and the international buyers that come to this sale, last year they had buyers from 5 continents buying at this marathon sale. Keeneland a couple of months ago introduced a bonus system rewarding both buyers and sellers of Book 1 graduates who go on to win greater Group 1 events worldwide at ages 2 or 3, with an additional bonus attached if that victory comes at Keeneland, incentivizing those horses to come back and run in the track's marquee events. The Bluegrass Stakes, Keeneland's signature Kentucky Derby prep, which for this past running was downgraded to a Grade 2, also included in that bonus system. Keeneland then later rolled out a seller bonus system for graduates of Book 2 onward throughout the sale to reward graded or group stakes performances worldwide. I think it's a wide-ranging system with some lucrative money attached that Keeneland is seeding. It's really interesting, especially when you look at the levels these horses have competed at.
Let's take a look at some of the specific offerings in Book 1, and it's just quality left and right. You've got 2 yearlings out of Broodmare of the Year honorees. We're going to take a look at a colt by Malibu Moon out of Otzi, which means that this colt is kin to 5 stakes winners, 4 graded stakes winners, 2 Grade 1 winners, and of course classic winner Shackelford.
Yeah, I mean, really, what can you say about Otzi? The unbridled mare produced Shackelford, who was brilliantly fast winning events such as, the Met Mile and defeating Amazonbee in the Churchill Downs Stakes, could also carry his toughness, his brilliance a distance because of his toughness, winning the Preakness. Lady Joanne won the Alabama. And what's exciting to me about this colt out of Otzi, who's consigned to Keeneland September, is Otzi produced, a Preakness winner in Shackelford by the very good sprinter Forestry, produced an Alabama winner in Lady Joanne by champion sprinter Orientate. And this colt is a Malibu Moon from that AP Indy sire line. You would have to think that this one could run all day.
Beautiful pedigree. Otzi, of course, was honored as Broodmare of the Year in 2011. 2 years later, multiple Grade 1 winner Take Charge Lady was given the award. We're going to take a look at the Warfront colt out of Take Charge Lady, hip number 101. And a full sister to this colt sold for $3.2 million as a weanling. That's Lady Take Charge, who's currently in training for Mark Casse.
Yeah, and in addition to that high ticket weanling, who was one of the highest weanling prices all time at Keeneland November, Take Charge Lady, the dam of a Indian Charlie yearling filly who sold at this sale for over $2 million some years ago. So the family, just a commercial juggernaut. Warfront, of course, so popular internationally in the commercial arena. He all by himself makes this a page to watch, but man, Take Charge Lady, multiple Grade 1 winner herself, produced Champion Will Take Charge, Grade 1 winner Take Charge Indy. She's also the dam of Charming, who produced a Champion and Take Charge Brandy, and Charming actually has a Warfront colt cataloged at this sale as well. So this family really poised to make a huge commercial impact during Book One.
So not only do we have 2 yearlings out of Broodmare of the Year honorees, we also have 2 half-siblings to Kentucky Derby winners. And let's begin with the flatter half-brother to Nyquist. And boy, when you look at this pedigree, it's really an emerging family. You've got Seeking the Sky, a graded stakes winner, the second dam, a graded stakes winner, and of course this colt a half to Nyquist.
Yeah, Nyquist, unquestionably the most accomplished at this point in this family. Champion at 2, Kentucky Derby winner at 3, won the Florida Derby as well. But, this really is an active and emerging female family, as you said. The dam Seeking Gabrielle has 2 winners from as many runners to race. The next dam, Seeking Regina, has produced 4 stakes horses, with Seeking the Sky producing that Grade 1 winner, Sahara Sky. Really an active family. And, Flatter is having a really good year on the track as well, with horses like West Coast out there. Flatter, a horse from that AP Indy sire line who can get them going, short, like, Taurus, Paola Queen, very good sprint fillies, or going longer, like flat out West Coast. So I think a really active, upward trending page on both sides for this colt.
A filly that figures to attract a lot of attention is number 124 by Pioneer of the Nile, of course, sire of Triple Crown winner American Pharaoh. And this dam above perfection. She could step. She was a graded stakes winner on the track. She's foaled some really nice horses. 7 winners, including Kentucky Derby winner Always Dreaming, Grade 1 winner Hot Dixie Chick. This filly is valuable as a racehorse and as a broodmare prospect down the line.
Well, that's the thing. I think they got very lucky that this was a filly that they're consigning, because a filly from this family is going to have so much value at this point, above perfection, so proven as a broodmare already with some years ahead of her. She's got Always Dreaming out there. Hot Dixie Chick, a Grade 1 winner herself, is now the dam of a stakes winner in Union Jackson. And, of course, being by Pioneer of the Nile, a Triple Crown sire of another champion out there in Classic Empire. He can get them on turf. He can get them on dirt. And, of course, he's from the same sire line as Bodemeister, the sire of Always Dreaming. So a filly from the family, bred on the same cross. I think this one has a ton of value.
We can't talk about Book One of any Keeneland September Yearling Sale without mentioning the great stallion Tappet. This year's Tappet Yearlings, the first conceived on his $300,000 stud fee, including this colt out of Serena's Cat. I mean, this is a half to honor code, Noble Tune, a really nice turf horse, but you go all the way back. You've got Serena's Song as the third dam. This horse sold for over $1 million as a weanling. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Very much so. I mean, this is one of the most outstanding pages in the catalog, one of the most outstanding pages that we'll see for Tappet at this sale. Kind of the interesting thing economically that we're watching with Tappet at this point, as his first yearlings conceived on that $300,000 fee come to market. When you're looking at the economics at play in the commercial market, somebody who bred one of these horses is not only trying to profit on that stud fee, you're talking about the time they put into the mare, into raising and sale prepping the resulting horse. So, I mean, your reserve is sky high right off the bat, to say nothing of a horse like this where it's such a high-ticket pinhook prospect. And, I think, the market was kind of evaluating that high stud fee a little bit at the Fasig Saratoga selected yearling sale last month. I think 4 of Tappet's 8 to come to the ring didn't meet their reserves, all with sky-high final bids, though. So, outfit has led the sale by gross every year since 2012. They have outstanding pages, but that being said, it is a selective market, and the consigners of these yearlings know that. And you know what? None of these owners are going to be afraid to keep these horses and race them themselves if they're not getting what they think is fair value for the horse.
Nothing but class and quality in Book 1 in this year's Keeneland September Yearling Sale. The auction running from September 11th through September the 23rd. You can get all the latest news, notes, and results on DRF.com. Of course, by following Nicole on Twitter at DRF Russo, and by following DRF Breeding on Twitter at DRF Breeding. We'll talk to you next week.